his knowledge from his years of experience and contribution to the society, I would now like to request His Excellency.
Namaskar. His Excellency Mr. Lekhraj Bhatta, the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industries, Government of Nepal, His Excellency Mr. Mahaprasad Adhikari, Governor, Nepal Rashtra Bank, Ms. Bhavani Rana, President of FNCCI, distinguished business personalities present in this session, brand exhibitors both from India and Nepal, and all the registered participants from India and Nepal joining this summit through this virtual platform. It is indeed a satisfying moment that we have all come together on this virtual platform to inaugurate the second edition of the India-Nepal Franchise and Investment Summit, which will be held over the next 3 days on this customized 3D virtual platform.
We're heading towards the second session of the day, Education in the New Normal. We've all seen the changes that have occurred in the education sector. In my home, I have a student, my brother, who has online classes throughout the day, of course with breaks in between. I also have a teacher, my sister, who's working relentlessly for her grade 2 students, and I can see how this pandemic has affected the traditional methods of teaching. In this session, we will learn how schools and colleges are preparing for a post-COVID world, the technologies that can enable better learning experiences for the students and motivate business houses that can assist to cater the education industry. Sethi, CEO, Delhi Academy of Medical Sciences Private Limited and TeleRad providers. Dr. Sumer Sethi, MD, is an eminent radiologist, entrepreneur, blogger, innovator, TEDx speaker and motivator who has not only done pioneering work in his field but has also mentored lakhs of medical graduates in the last 2 decades. To his credit is DAMS, a unique countrywide classroom program, and has initiated tablet-based learning called iDAMS. He is the pioneer for medical teleeducation in India and using satellite technology, and has also launched eMedicause, a leading e-learning initiative in medical education-centric platform, which is his latest brainchild. Dr. Sethi is Editor-in-Chief, Internet Journal of Radiology, and has also authored a motivational book titled Fire in the Belly, a collection of his sessions with medical students. His latest book is A Leap of Faith, which is a short motivational read. He's the author of approximately 50 publications, and the 7th edition of his book, Review of Radiology, is a bestseller among medical students. Our next panel.
Also, now Delhi Academy of Medical Sciences, DAMS, which is a PG medical entrance coaching institute. You know, it has been offering face-to-face coaching since 1999, and in 2011 they started offering satellite classes. They also launched their app in 2017. So I'd like to know from Dr. Sumer Sethi, Director of DAMS, the advantages of using technology before pandemic. Is it assisting to increase the level of customer satisfaction in today's scenario?
Thank you, Shelly. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the organizers for doing such a great job. You have been so kind in following us, all of us up. And it has been enlightening to me to hear, Dr. Professor Arindam Banerjee and Avik speak. So what I've learned from them is that, we have so far seen two different perspectives. Like one has been a more traditional way of, man-to-man teaching, and one more technology-based. My own experience as an entrepreneur and as an educator, what I've seen over the last 20 years, that either of the claims actually, when I come to the ground, a good technology which is well done should become invisible. Like for example, now when I'm talking to you today, initially it is all technology screen, but when we are talking, now it becomes person to person. A technology well done actually becomes invisible. So, and it breaks a lot of barriers. But to say that technology would replace humans actually becomes an overstatement. So I'll give my perspective on it. Now, we started teaching doctors around 20 years back for their postgraduate entrance exams. And we started with a clear, a small group of students being taught in a classroom. And we continued on that model for the next 10 years. So from 1999 to 2010, we opened around 35 centers across the country where teachers were physically going, traveling, teaching, and all those things were going on. But then we hit a block where the quality teachers would be a limiting factor. And I as an entrepreneur, I want to expand more and more centers. I want to reach out to more and more students. But the number of quality teachers available at this level, where we are at a postgraduate medical level, these are doctors and they have to teach, it becomes a limiting factor. So we thought of breaking that barrier by introducing satellite technology. And I just wanted to showcase, to the audience today that how this technology helps. From 2011 to 2014, we ended up opening 250 more centers. So in first 10 years of my journey as an entrepreneur, I opened 35 centers with purely, but there was technology there also. There were aeroplanes being flying, and we can't deny that. But with adding satellite-based video conferencing, we added maybe 215 more centers, and we got to 250 number. And by the time we reached 2017, I realized that we need to break another barrier. But at the end of the day, this is a relationship between teachers and students. So we just need to break that barrier where a student is unable to reach to us. So we launched our app called as eMedicos, and recently in App Innovation Challenge by PM Modi, we were in the top 5 of the app innovation in the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. So in that app, we initiated live streaming. So this is like you can see a movie on demand on Netflix. This is like a lecture on demand. These are live two-way interactions available, and we I never thought this would happen, but in the last 3 years now, we are at, in our app, we have like 3 lakh plus doctors who are accessing courses to us. And with the help of technology, we even ended up opening a center in Kathmandu with JD group of global group of businesses. So I believe that the no, we've always heard the two extremes, that technology is good, technology is bad, or human touch is good, not required, a teacher is good or bad. But I feel there's a middle way, and finding that balance is where the magic happens in business. So what happens is sometimes people would go tilt the balance in, say only technology will work. Like we hear it in medical profession all the time. A lot of people will come and say one day the artificial intelligence will replace doctors, you may not need doctors at all. So these are like extreme views. What works in a real life scenario for me is the middle path, where we open a bouquet of services, where there are face-to-face classrooms which are at a premium cost, there are satellite classrooms, there are app-based courses, and we let the users decide that, okay, this is what you want. And to your surprise, I want to bring it to everybody here, that to my own surprise, actually, when we opened our classrooms after the lockdown was over in India, when we opened our classrooms last month, I thought the students will not come to the classroom. They will you choose the app option. We were judging on the basis of the students. And to my surprise, in the first class itself, 17 centers, the classes opened immediately. So out of 250, 17 centers in the first class itself, day one of post-lockdown area, the students wanted to come to the classroom. So what happens is sometimes we are all judging on the basis of a diverse group of consumers. We don't understand what the students would want. And so there are students who want to sit in a classroom. There are students who have a household where sitting in a home itself is a trouble for them. And not everybody has 3 rooms, 5 rooms to sit. One, 3 laptops, one high-end internet. Sometimes it doesn't really work for them. So there are students who want to come to a classroom. There are students who still believe in shaking hands with the teacher, or talking to the teacher face to face, and there are students who want to run on the mobile app as well. So it is like my approach has always been, let's not judge on behalf of the students. Let them take a call. And this has always, and the students have always ended up surprising us. We thought when we started video conferencing classes in 2011, people said students will not come, but the students came. But that did not reduce the number of students coming to my face-to-face classrooms. It actually increased. Some students who would attend 1 year of their classes in my satellite center would later on come to my face-to-face class. And I see that same cycle repeating right now also. Some students, they take one course of mine on the mobile app, and the second course they join on a face-to-face classroom. So it's like the students are smart, and they know the value of human touch. They know the value of technology. But a technology which is well done should be invisible. It should not feel like technology. It should feel like human to human interaction. And although Professor Arindam has left the here, but I wanted to add a line to what he said. More and more higher we go, there is always a need for interaction between the students also. The teaching is not just between the teacher and the student. We also need a group of students also who are interacting with each other. That actually makes the full classroom. So that happens in my physical classrooms with the students sitting in the class. That happens in my mobile app in the chat box. So I'll just hand over the mic back to you by telling you, this year on our chat box, in our live classes in our app, on our chat box, so many students from across the country, they formed good friendships. So I'm teaching as a student, I am teaching as a teacher to them. They are on the mobile app chat box. They are writing, please share your WhatsApp number. I want to get back to you. And so it's exactly the same that happens in a physical classroom. You are teaching, but the students are also interacting amongst each other. So the truth is, the virtual world actually reflects your true world. If you are not a good teacher, otherwise the virtual world will not make you a grand teacher. It's as simple as that. So if you are a good teacher, you will adapt to it. Will be like 1 or 2 days of learning of how the cameras feel like, how to make eye contact, but then there onwards it is just between you and the students, just like it was before.
Thank you so much, Subesh. So, Samir now you're coming to you.
I think both the esteemed previous speakers have highlighted all the points. I would like to add a line here, that in every crisis there is an opportunity. In every crisis there is an opportunity, and this COVID crisis, when I look at it from a country's perspective, the things are like, we've always been dependent on the traditional classroom structure. Now is the opportunity to build up the technology. Now is the opportunity to build up the technology for the app-based lectures, for mobile app, 5G technology. Now is the opportunity to build up all that, so that in the post-COVID era, like Dr. Ms. Samit Thapa ji correctly mentioned, when the hybrid evolves, we should have that strong technology setting as well. And second is that in this event of COVID, we have all learned that there is a possibility that we have all seen of travel restrictions happening in this 6 months. So many students are now thinking, why can't they pursue the course in their own country? Like, for example, a lot of MBBS doctors from Nepal, they used to come to Delhi to study with us for various postgraduate exams. Now many of them are thinking, why can't they study in Nepal itself? So we need to enable that kind of facility locally. That is what my point should be.
Thank you so much, sir.